It totally depends on ourselves that how can we crack that job on basis of the experience or on the German level, particularly talking about Germany then.
Correct. So people should come.
Yeah, people should come to Germany.
Whether work experience है नहीं है. So you come with 2.5 years of experience, and in the beginning when I met you, you said like you're already doing some work. In this 4 months, you were able to get the job as well.
Yeah. So basically, what I did was I was already looking for
Give
working
us your
student
background
jobs.
first before we get into that. Give us your background.
So
You did aeronautical engineering.
yeah.
And then
So I did my bachelor's in aeronautical engineering, and I worked for 2.5 years at a company in India. It was a software development job. But then when I applied for Hochschule Stalzon, for example, and I knew that I was getting in, I was already applying for working student jobs and looking for working student jobs that I could do from Stalzon. So
while you were in India.
yes.
When admission आ गया था उसके
Yeah,
बाद.
yeah, yes, exactly.
Wow.
So I think that's a really good tip for if you're also looking to come to Germany. Just be ready, because you know you need a working student job or you want to get some experience while you're studying. It's very possible to do in Germany. So just start looking for jobs already, and because all jobs after application need a month or two until they realize. So a month or two before you come here is a good time to start applying, because once you are here, you already have something to work for. And then also I think from the point of view of work experience, right? Like I have 2.5 years of work experience, but to get masters, according to me, it doesn't matter at all. But if you want to come to Germany and you want a working student job, then I think it does help. But it also depends on where you had your work experience or how your work experience is relevant to what you will be working in the working student job, for example. Because in Germany, you can't show experience of something very irrelevant or some other domain and think that even if you have 3 or 4 years of experience, it's going to be hard for you to get into a job that has nothing to do with what experience you have. So you need to be very smart as to how you display your achievements or what you have done in your bachelor's, whether it is like projects, theses, research papers that you've written or whatever it is. But you have to be smart in connecting your experience to the job you're applying for.
Correct.
So take some time for your cover letter. Mainly that's the main thing, and your CV. Highlight the points that you think are the most relevant for the person considering your application. So why should they take you instead of someone else, for example? Like what's your selling point, right? Just sell yourself to them in a very smart way, and I think that's like a tip for applications.
Right. So one question: with 2.5 years of experience, I'm sure in your classroom there are more people with more experience, more than 2.5 years of experience, right?
I'm not sure, but
Yeah, there must be. I'm sure there must.
there are.
Yeah. Do you think basically when you started your masters and when you'll go deep into this, is that going to give you leverage because you have seen the industry more in compared to other students who have not seen? Do you think you will be able to leverage that, or it doesn't make a difference and you're on the same ground like them?
I think it depends. It depends on, for example, I personally don't think if you have work experience, you have a better chance on getting a job. That's not the case.
Okay.
Unless you have the relevant work experience or you can display what you have done really well to the employer,
Right.
you have a very good chance to get in Germany. Like, because if you have done what you say you have done, and if you have learned a lot from what you have done, and you can show them that you can use that knowledge in the job that you will be applying for, then you have a really good chance in Germany. So that's like one tip. So even if you don't have work experience, there is a very good chance that you can get in for any job.
Correct.
Because they are looking, because it's a working student job, they don't expect you to have
5 years professional experience.
They don't expect you to have any experience, to be honest. So even if you have like small projects that you did in university, go for it. Like try to sell it as much as possible in the best way.
I think in my experience, what I've seen is when it comes to internship working student, they are more focused on skills rather than work experience per se. You know, when you were to go for a full-time job, that's where all of this topic becomes very relevant. But I do feel that having some sort of work experience does get your one foot inside the door. Right? Because you have an experience, right?
Yeah, because if you are an experience, so he's like the company is like, okay, you know how to work and you have experience in this field, so you are more as you said, you are one step ahead of other candidates to get into the job.
Right.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, without work experience, and if you're here or if you plan to come here, that's, I think it all comes down to yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
How hungry you are for
Like,
the
see,
job.
if like we talk about all of us, like all of three of us, then it's like we are freshers, we know, but again we have a good grip on our German language. I have studied till B1 or B2 level here in Germany, so even it's one considered point for the companies that we know we don't have that much skills in that field,
Right.
but we have a good grip on our language, so
Right.
it will be a benefit for us to get the job, rather than if they're having a candidate who has experience but he doesn't know German language.
Right.
So we also get an advantage, like we have a language barrier, we clear our language and we get a job.
Right.
Yeah.
I think my last point on this is I've seen, especially with freshers who have absolute zero experience, they may have done internships, but not an industry standard exposure they have. I've seen with them that they are okay to take you with, let's say, you on a skill wise, you are 2.5 out of 5, but on a language wise, you are 5.5 out of 5,
Yeah.
which is German language.
Yeah.
And I think lastly, what I normally, when I hire people, is also the attitude, right? If you have the attitude to learn, are you coachable or not? All of this point matters, especially when you're starting your career. But probably they would not give you that leverage because you come with work experience and you would not even want to apply at the same position, probably what these guys are applying. Again, depends, because 2.5 years of experience is still not that much compared to 5-10 years of experience. So वो लोग तो तुम्हारे पोजीशन पे तो अप्लाई नहीं कर रहे हैं, clearly, right? तो वो मिसमैच या कोई आपका जॉब खा रहा है, वो सिचुएशन भी नहीं आता है, right? तो I think it's about attitude. I think it comes down to
It
that.
totally depends on ourselves that how can we crack that job,
Right.
like on basis of the experience or on the German level, like particularly talking about Germany then.
Correct. So people should come.
Yeah, people should come to Germany.
Whether work experience है नहीं है.
आना
Yeah?
चाहिए, आना चाहिए.
Okay, cool guys.